Alright, see, I done messed up. Now I do gotta edit the video together. Cause I didn't cut it in half. I said, cause why? What happened? I'll tell you. I tried to play a song, and then what happened? As soon as I got back to the recently used apps, when I saw, all the familiar friends, we saw Snapchat, Yes Girl, we saw, um, Google Chrome. Alright, cool. I see you. I don't use you, but I open you a lot. And then, WhatsApp, the international messaging system for your cell phone. Anyway, none of these was the camera. So when I looked for the camera, it wasn't there. It was just a ghost surrounded by yellow in the background. Snapchat. Oh, y'all thought it was a bell? It looked kind of like a bell. Nah, that's a ghost. They didn't reveal that until later on in the seasons. Like Fortnite, they said, "Oh, here's a preview." Now I'm not gonna. Ah, there it is. You know what I mean? They do all that, and it's all good. But I ain't gonna be like exasperating and expressing and just releasing all my energy into that anymore. Cause why would I do that? What would I do that for? Hmm. It's good questions. Might as well ask them. You already think them, right? And another thing. What are the differences between knowledge, number one, thinking, number two, wisdom, and insight? Are there and experience as a whole? I believe that, see, knowledge and wisdom and experience, they go very close. And here's insight over here. Insight's beautiful. And thinking, well, that's basically the background noise, right? But wisdom, knowledge, and experience, it's like, hmm, experience is a product of knowledge and wisdom. And wisdom is knowledge lived, knowledge applied, knowledge leading to the experience. First you must know, then you experience. It's all one process, but it's like a cat with a tail, right? It's all one cat. But you notice that the head usually comes before the tail. You know what I mean? Like a dog, it tries to chase its tail, but it's never really the tail. It seems to always come like with it, but not at the forefront of it. Whew! You see what I'm saying here? Wow, I saw that with my eyes. It was pretty cool. I was like, so yes, experience comes when knowledge is applied and becomes wisdom. When knowledge becomes wisdom, it is experience. Knowledge, wisdom, experience. Wisdom is knowledge applied. Knowledge. Knowledge. What is knowledge? Hmm. I know. See, I believe when you say I know, like, okay, my little sister says I know, I know, I know, I know. She don't know. I used to say I know, I know, I know as a kid. I didn't know. Not really. You know what I mean? It pisses the adults off too, just like it's trying to get in my psyche now. It's just like, you don't know. What do you mean? Why are you saying I know? It's like, but I used to say that shit. No cap, as they say. All curly beauty hair, man. Beauty hair, bro. Effortless. Effortless. So effortless. And now I'm hearing the boys banging on doors and such. Physically. You know what I mean? And they got let in. That's dope. I'm happy for y'all. But I ain't gonna say that out the window. This is beautiful. Now, where was I? What is knowledge? Ah, yes. So when I said, like, I used to say it as a kid and she says it as a kid, I think that's a profession of ignorance. When you say, I know, That's what says you're ignorant. But if you say, I don't know, it seems to imply that you do know. For instance, when you ask, why did you do that? I don't know. Or when they ask you, like, what color do you want your hair to be? I don't know. Just do the usual, probably say, but you did have an idea, most likely. If you went to the hairdressers, right? So, let's go. So, let's see. What is knowledge? Knowledge is the intrinsic nature, right? Like, you've learned certain things, you've lost old habits and ways, and earned new ones, learned, and now you have knowledge by experience. So, with experience also comes knowledge. So it's a beautiful pyramid triangle right there. Triangular prism. Prism, not prison. Even though it sounds quite similar. We're not even going to label this thing. It's just right here. Wait. Yes, right here. So we got experience. When you experience something, you know and experience it, then you have knowledge. So I believe know and knowledge are somewhat separate, but they're most likely like the cat, right? With the tail and the head, but they're both one. It's all cat. There's something to jar your brain a little bit. Because I know mine is getting open like a can of green beans right now. It's like, whoa. So profound. Yeah, I'd like to release that song. And I'm going to. I've been saying that for months. Trust me. I am releasing this song. I'm releasing the song before the end of the month. But when I set deadlines like that, that's when it seems not to happen. When I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to be there at 6:30 sharp. I wake up at 9. Why? I could have set an alarm, but I didn't. I said I have the will to wake up at 6:30. But you have to habitate. You have to habituate or habitualize it. Make it a habit. All that, right? You have to make it a habit in order for it to settle in. Repetition is key. That's where we go in here, and that's where knowledge is there too. Because once you rehearse, right? Which seems to be like take it from beginning to end, because a hearse is like, what drives the coffins. Hearse, right? That's what dead people be whipping in. They be like, yeah. They're like, didn't you die Wednesday? Yeah, nigga, I got this hearse right here. You know what I mean? Yeah, your boy Bobby James, he driving it, man. Oh, I'm dead now. That's what that'd be like. So once you rehearse it, take it from beginning to end to death, then you recollect it. You keep collecting more and more information from it somehow, but it's still in your mental anyway, right? Unless you're watching videos and such. That's how we learn. I'm telling you, there's a pathway to something. I like it. Let's keep going. So, now you recollect this, and it rekindles, the fire. The re is just in front of all these things because it keeps happening in us. And so we recollect it, we rekindle our passion, and we recognize it. We recognize it. And cognitive functions we know go on in the brains. The brain, singular. But even though we're dual-minded sometimes, can't make up our mind, we have choices. At the end, we just go one way, only one. And like the choices, they just fade off. At the very last moment, some of us, we put things off, and then at the last moment we say, you know what, I'm doing this. I'll do it. Now, sometimes it does conflict with the people around you and their wishes for you and their dream, their vision for you, and a lot of the times in relationship to them. You know what I mean? So it ends up being somewhat of a selfish venture sometimes. Other times, all times it's what is adventure? Anyway, we ain't gonna go all up into there. But anyway, so And then when you apply what you know, the insight, because it comes from within, that stuff doesn't necessarily come from without. So you apply what you know, or try it out, and then you get wisdom. That is wisdom. Wisdom is trying the knowledge, and knowledge and works. So knowledge with works is wisdom. Faith without works is dead. Faith with works is wisdom. And that leads you to experience what you know. And then you really know, or you re-know. You become renowned. There we go. We finally found the White Rabbit's family at the end of the rabbit hole. They say, we don't know how far the rabbit hole goes, Neo. Well, I just found his family, little thumpers. What's good, y'all? Thanks for the ride, man. I'm glad y'all coming along. See this? I'm a driver. Mess around. All right, then. Yeah, man, it's a good night here. It's pretty funny. Let's play some Michael Jackson. Let's play some Michael Jackson. Dang. Oh, I put it in the wire. I put it away. Well, maybe it ain't time for Michael Jackson, but I'll have that in the background. Because why? I don't want to hear the radio. Let me show you why I don't want to hear the radio. Damn. Thank you, Vermont. Thank you for this beautiful selection of... Oh, he's singing.
I remember how he cried. I was only 17.
Okay, he was 17. The fuck is that? That sounds like you vomiting, but like times 10. You know, like Kaioken, like Goku them. He said from vomiting so 17. He was like 17. But like this is what we got to listen to up here in Vermont.
One day returned from his trap line. He was not surprised when...
And at a bad frequency at that. Can you believe this? I couldn't believe this. That's so funny. At least I know like a couple other stations though. Like 105.7 ought to be something. Oh, nope, that shit gone dead. Alright. 100.9. Which is country. Is option 2. We caught it right for the start of one too. That's how country songs start these days. Let's go. Anyway, needless to say, like I don't want to spend too much time. This is pretty fun. But like, needless to say, these are my options and I don't really like them. They ain't for me. I don't vibe with it. So I be buying Michael Jackson now apparently, because why? My car has a DVD, a disc vibe. So like, use it, right? Why not? Has a great sound system overall. So let's go. I like it. Now, the trouble is gonna be nowhere. I was gonna say editing. That ain't gonna be no trouble. That's gonna be easy. Once I get these videos onto the computer, I'm good. And that was just, that was a thought. That's what thoughts are. They come in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And they just say, oh, pay full attention to me now. And let me take over your body, your mouth, your fucking eyes. Just don't look at anything. You see all these things around you, but you ain't really paying attention. And all we got is this mark right here on our right hand. This is what I usually hold my hand with. And our forehead, which is where the light from the phone goes. Ain't that a bitch? So like, I will come as a thief in the night, right? When we got our phone on, we don't see shit around us. We don't see nothing happening around us. Not really. Unless it's big and like, boom. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, if a guy comes out of the sky with like clouds and like shining luminescence like the sun, we might notice that if it's close enough to us. This is a big world though. Well, it's a small world, but it's a big world compared to us, us individual organisms. You know what I mean? Pretty big, pretty big. Like if this car is an extension of myself, you know, I get outside and I see how small the car is, you know what I mean, compared to this house right here, compared to all types of stuff. Anyway, that's what thoughts are. And then, you know, insight is just that little light, that little light that burns, that you know, stays kindled. Remember? Rekindle. But that stays kindled and it burns like a passion. And like certain I feel like desire is like, I don't know, it's like wood to the fire. When you feed desire anyway, it's like a hunger, it's like a yearning or something for like ugh for like just something more. Just something more. Like I need more wood in this fire. Even if it's an eternal flame, right? We'll think like at least someone would probably think, at least now, like, shouldn't we put like wood in that? If one of us were to come across an eternal flame in the middle of a forest, let's say it was a tiny one, and we was just like, you know what, let's camp out for the night, and this is cool, like less than the size of a hand, but it's still noticeable nonetheless, and you start a fire around it, or like you know you start a camp around it, and you see that little guy, and you're just like, shouldn't we put wood in it? And then you put wood in it. Most likely, like, we just feed it because we're like, should I do that? Maybe, because usually, you know, like blah blah blah. But it's like that's just coming from the habits of society. That's what I'm talking about. Like change our habits, change our ways to incorporate new knowledge. You know, from the insight. But the insight wouldn't tell us, okay, put a big ass piece of wood on that small flame, right? But our like previous like thoughts and knowledge about this thing, beliefs, thoughts and beliefs are very similar. So our previous thoughts and beliefs about this thing would be just like, I should put wood in it, even if it's an eternal flame. You wouldn't know that. But if you just watched it, if you just, and I mean, if it's a fire, you could let it go away anyway, if it were to be so. But we just like, you know what, let me just make this bigger because I need bigger, I need hotter. It could be perfect temperature, mind you, but like it looks small. And our eyes are quite interesting. My eyes are quite interesting. Also, I realize I mainly focus with one eye. You know, I see single vision. I see one of everything. When I was about, you know, very young, I saw two of my mother in the, you know, like I saw double vision or such. You know, I was cross-eyed or whatever. I saw double of my mom in like the fridge and such like that. It looked cool now, but I was just like, you know, Mom, I see two of you. Whoa, Mom, that's so cool. Okay, we're taking you to an eye doctor. So I was wearing glasses from that time, son. Mom, glasses, all two. Hello. You know what I mean? Looking like the nerd and shit like that. Never Harry Potter glasses though. I wasn't going that route. But apparently a lot of people like that. So I guess like that would have been the popular thing to be like, you look like Harry Potter. Yeah, osteoporosis. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Listen, you cannot expect a guy to not be corny when all they feed me, all I be eating off these shelves is high fructose corn syrup with cornbread and corn oil to deep fry. And you giving coronavirus too? Imagine. That was a mind destruction noise. You felt it. You lived it. I know it. Because I experienced it. And now we all experience this. This is fun. I like this. But yeah, this is Michael Jackson right here. He. Homie could stand on his toes, bro. Now, he only had to do this for a split second for a decent photographer to be like, alright. Like, he could take a million photos and just be like, alright, I think I got him. I'm going to scroll through them. I'm going to edit this one, send it out to MJ, see if he like it. Boom. That's how this was born. Unless he did it himself, he may have. might have. Yeah. So let me pop in the CD and we'll have a little bit of background music. How about it? I like some tracks on here, but we'll have it super low so I don't get infringed because people be sensitive. Let's pick a good track. I don't know who watching this video, so I ain't playing rock with you, you dig? Billie Jean, though. I like Billie Jean. Put it at 7. Yeah, though. I had this running joke with a friend of mine, and we was saying, like, alright, it'd be nice to date a chiropractor, maybe, right? Because, like, you know, every time you get a little, like, tense or stiff or, like, or, like, you know, your bones seem to get congested, then, like, you know, she'd just be able to ease that pain real quick or, like, you know, relieve that real quick. And, like, you know, a little, and you good. You're like, thank you. But on the flip side, on the flip side of that, you got when she ain't happy with you. You know, and that could just be her own mind playing tricks on her. Or it could just be you fucking up. Either way, in any middle ground, if this date is mad at you, you done, son. At least for as long as they want you to be. They know all about the intricate parts of the body and the bones and the ligaments and the well, probably the ligaments since they attach themselves to the joints and such. But yeah, that's their thing. So if they get mad at you, they're just you paralyzed for like 2 minutes while she vents at you, and you're just like feeling like get out and shit in that chair, like just chilling. All you gotta do. I'm in the sunken place. Sunken place. Oh my gosh, it's lonely in here. Hi, I'm George. Oh shit, who that was? Yeah, that's right. You know that one guy named George is gonna come through and disturb the peace. It's pretty funny. I worked with a George the other day, and then after that he got into a situation. George of the jungle, watch out for that tree. Donk, straight for it. Does that mean Georges don't have common sense like that? What about Curious George? Oh yeah, he was a monkey. Never mind. I don't think they like the name George that much. Ain't that something? But hey, I'm just saying, I'm just absorbing and observing. And when I absorb that information. Why do you think it sounds the same? It don't gotta be spelled the same, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. A word is just energy, vibration, right? That's why you can call a dog's name. And you can say it slightly different, but okay, musical artists and those who record will know what I'm saying. When you say a word and you can see it on the audio, it's shaped a certain way. You know, the wave and the frequency and the audio density of that, it just comes into like a form of its own. Observe, absorb, observe. You see what I'm saying here? Observe. It's very similar in vibration. It's very similar in sound. So regardless of the characters which we use to represent that sound, that's just like directions for it to go, right? Absorb. Observe. You get what I'm saying here? This might be alien to you, but guess what? This is the language that we all be speaking. Unknowingly, unwittingly, we don't be sharing our wit. We be LOLing and shit. laugh out loud with with a straight face. Y'all see the funniest video in your life. You're like, and then you're like, emoji, 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 where the nigga like crying, laughing. He's just like, and you sent like 20 of them. So that's what that is. Imagine that as an e-card. You wouldn't want that shit. But anyway, regardless, we all do it or have done it. And you just send that, and then your friend is just like, I'll feel that energy, and then you're just like, LMFA, oh, you know, we've all been there. And then there's certain other things where you're just like, you might not be in the mood, but you're trying to say sexy time, and you just like, all right. And then you just be like, and then they try to say something funny or some shit. Like probably girls, you'd probably know what I mean more so than guys, but like they say something and they trying to be funny, and you just be like, LMFAO, send. You know what I mean? We all been through it. It's just that's just how it be. Emojis or emoticons, emotional icons. This stuff's weird, man. I realized like I shut off a bunch of like the technical features on my phone and stuff. You know, the notifications. If you get that off, even this, it's quite a change because you're just like, what is this phone for? I looked at my settings. You could do damn near anything you want to in settings. On this one, this is a certain type of phone from like, where is it from? Some country out east, and it's very interesting. The amount of things, but like you got to sign in to another account for that though. You know, similar to Samsung in that regard, or Apple. You have to sign into them things if you want to access any of their features. So I chose not to sign in on this one, and it's a very different experience. But I don't feel as though I'm missing anything really. You know, that's just like having all the instruments and all the, you know, basses and all the trebles, all the access to every instrument sound and such, and bytes, and storage on, say, you know, a musical software like Logic, and you don't know what to do with it all. So you're just like, all right, I spent all this money. I'm using maybe a couple of them, but I'm kind of getting overwhelmed with all this stuff. So it's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just cool. I have Logic now, and put it away. You know what I mean? You might access it a couple times, but you don't really try stuff out. Now, the couple times you did try stuff out, you was just like, man, that's fun. But beyond that, you're trying to keep a structure. You know what I mean? You're trying to have this sound a certain way. You can't really be playing around with it and perhaps lose any progress that, you know, you might not have made yet. But it don't matter, because I got a little bit. I got at least the first 10 seconds done, and I ain't trying to change it now, right? We are very attached. We say we're good at adaptation as a human species, but like in daily life and in careers and such like that, like we don't do very well with attachment. Well, we do very well with attachment, excuse me. We don't do very well detaching with detachment. See what I'm saying here? Good at this, but when it's time to go to find a new shape, it's like, I don't know, I was more comfortable like this. But when you do this, when you expand, you realize, oh, it feels much more free. I got all my space. You know what I mean? My fingers can finally social distance for their safety. And like, yeah, you just gotta change form every once in a while. Let's get used to some, you know, I was gonna say decapitation, but that ain't it. Let's get used to some detachment. Yeah, some of that good detachment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny, this has been a long train of thought, but I don't even think I reached the caboose yet. You know what I mean? We've been through certain sections of this train, and it's just been like chugga chugga choo choo. And we haven't gotten to the end of the track yet. I think this is a pretty infinite track thus far. I see no end in sight. I'd like to have long discussions. And I have no one to really talk with. Either, really, I feel. You know, I don't feel very good or comfortable with discussing this with either of my parents directly, and you know, even without the presence of others on a cell phone call or in person. It just doesn't feel like the way I am going, and thus it is not. But here with my own phone, my own device, and a familiar face on a camera, which is my own because it's a selfie video, it's not so bad. And then we hear Thriller playing in the background. Damn. What's next? Men in the mirror trying to sing. We love to feel sorry for ourselves, don't we? Oh boy, I'm stepping on the eggs. I'm not walking around these eggshells. It's more fun when they pop. And I mean the unfertilized ones. So y'all don't think I'm a murderer of fluffy penguins. Love me some penguins. They're black and white like me. Don't say nothing about it. Cold. Just like that. Alright. Now can I... excellent. So my little sisters made me realize something the other day. And I'm gonna quiet it down until it comes up. Excellent. Alright, y'all ready for this? Listen to what the MJ says. Your is mine. Can you believe it? And my little sisters noticed that. I always thought I heard it like that, but I'm like, nah, he wouldn't actually say that, right? We look up the lyrics. First 4 words. Your butt is mine. Oh! Exactly. See, it just said it. That's funny. Timing. I'm telling you. We align this ourselves. We choose what we do with our own time. And then we blame God when we don't like what that amounts to. That's why we like being told what to do. Because we don't want to take the blame. Oh, he told me to do it. Or she asked me to do it. Or the devil made me do it. Or this is how I was raised. This is how I was brought up. We love excuses. Exits. But we can't run away from ourselves. And that seems to be a problem. Because we do something, don't like it, and we won't take any credit, and we don't want any blame, and we'll scream and yell and cuss and make all type of noise and blame someone else and bear false witness and all these types of things just to get away from something we don't like that we did. But on the flip side of this coin, if we do something and we like what we did, we want all the credit, all the accolades, all the applause, all the views, all the likes, the comments, positive feedback, and all that when we do something and we like that. Ain't that something? It's like a magnet, isn't it? 2 different sides of the spectrum, 2 poles. One attracts attention, one repels it. It's just like, I don't want this. I don't want this as a part of who I am, even though I did that. Nah, just get it out of here. But then certain things you keep, and they're heavy on you. Like from your past, you're just like, this is who I am, no matter what. But you kind of like naturally repel that because that doesn't really speak to who you'd like to be or who you know yourself to be really on the inside. And so that's where some malfunction comes in on our in our physiological body, in our physical body. We sometimes even feel pain, and we literally feel pain, feel resentment, feel jealousy, anger. We feel that. I know I feel something in my chest, and my blood seems to be literally like boiling. Like not to the point it's like burnt, getting super hot or anything, but it just seems to be like trembling. It's interesting, but still flowing healthily, thankfully. But we feel some of these things, It's very interesting how that works. But who knows how it works? Who cares? We don't. Doesn't seem so. But we just accept it, and then we look at everyone else and say, shit, they have a bigger fucking motorbike than me. I just bought this blue Ducati. You know what I mean? And they have a big black Harley Davidson. Like, damn, a chopper? I should have got a chopper. Shoot. And then we go and play games like GTA to compensate for the fact that we didn't get that other one that our neighbor got. This is fun though, isn't it? We love getting lost in this shit. We love getting lost in this matrix, in these video games, and these videos, and watching someone else, and fantasizing if we were to maybe do the right thing. What is the right thing? Why not do the left thing? Oh, we forgot about the left? Yeah, there's right, wrong, and left. How about it? And there's also east, west, north, south. And I mean, there's red, green, blue, everything that we think. And once again, like, these words are very powerful and very similar. Thing and think, you think things. No thing is here or could be here without a thought. Because things, even names are things. Am I wrong? What is a name? A name. What do you use a name for? What is the purpose? What do you use it for? What does it do? What do you do with it? And you name a person, place, or thing. So name is a noun. Name, noun, same thing. Right? So that names are things that we have thought, that we think. A flower, right? The actual thing in a pot that we call a flower is not the same thing as flower, Flower, or FLOUR. Flower, 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 flower. Gosh, overload here. Gigabytes of information spilling through. We've learned this all our life. I've learned this all my life. And here I am still just thinking about it because it's just there. I learned how to backflip. That's fun as hell. Why is hell fun? You know, like even things like that, right? But it's super fun for real. When you're that split second when you actually decide to do it and you push off that ground and you lift off and you just rotate in the air, you know, you feel every millisecond of that and you're just like, you just fully just whoop, legs leave the ground, legs land on the ground. And it's a beautiful experience. It's like going to space real quick and coming right back, going through a portal, just whoop. Being in that washing machine that you wondered how fun it would be to be tossed upside down, or that giant tire that only rednecks and farmers use to, you know, or they used to use to like roll down the hill in the haystacks and such like that. Yeah, that's what that feel like. If you backflip, and the cool thing is you could learn how to double backflip. You know, like all you gotta do is like tuck faster and like just hold on. And then, you know, you'll feel that intrinsic knowledge, that insight as to where to put your legs down, and you'll learn that through experience over time. But all premonitions and precognizance, like all I don't know, all previous thoughts about that thing must be canceled as you're learning to do it. It has to be, because it's replaced. It's replaced with knowledge. You know, when you're backflipping, you think, okay, before I could backflip, I looked at that, I'm just like, that must be so scary, but it looks so cool. I'd love to learn how to do that. First time I went down south, went to a gymnasium. It was like a ninja training course, and learned to, like, I tried backflipping a couple of times, and I might have landed it once or twice. But it wasn't easy. As far as my brain, like my body could do it now. My body could do it. It wasn't accustomed to it, but it had the ability for sure. And my mind just was full of fear. Full of fear. The F word. That's what the F word is in gymnastics. At least the gym I went to. I love that. I love that. I fucking love that. Yeah. So if you bleep me, it would be over fear. It'd be like, bleep. Beep. That was me saying beep. See? But if I say fuck, that wouldn't be bleeped, because that ain't the F word in gymnastics, son. You feel? Excellent. I love how I'm releasing this video. Like, I love that also. See, it's cool because I'm expressing I like to be funny. I like to be funny, damn it. Cool. And if you like to be funny, I don't give a fuck. I'm just kidding. Wait, do I? I don't know you anyway, so like, but I'm looking at me, so technically I should. See, use a reflection. Wow. So no matter who I'm talking to right here, you're my reflection right now, in this moment as I am recording. How does that feel? I am a version of you that was born of different parents and was brought up differently in a different state, country, religion, creed, color, mindset, lineage. And wow, so you're the version of me who made it like that. I admire what you do. I admire what you've done. You know, it took a lot to get you where you are right now. We both know that. It took a lot to get you there. You went through some shit. You learned a lot, and you've just you know we've all disregarded or disregard. Yeah, we've all disregarded certain things that we've learned as well, or you know, just like abandoned certain knowledge, played ignorant about it. You know what I mean? Just like ignored it. Ignorance is when you ignore something, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. Ignorance is the act of ignoring, or the you know the child of ignoring. You know, I mean the product of ignoring. Because either way, like the act leads to the act being done, right? So ignorance is ignoring. It's so funny, cause yeah, and listen to this song, "Man in the Mirror." I'm starting with the man in the reflection. Oh, that's me. I'm the man in the reflection. Now you're looking into. Unfortunately, I think this thing that we're holding in our hands is a black mirror. Why? Because it shows a very pale and poor reflection of us on the screen when we're looking at it when the screen is off. And I can even see it now because I'm actually seeing it now because most of my screen is dark, and you could probably see it too. If you look at the screen instead of my face, if you look right above, right like right here, you can see your two eyes looking right back at you in actual size. It's interesting. But yeah, this seems to be the Black Mirror, and we see all these things. I used to love that show because I was like that was one of the things that connected me most to my insight and my preview, my premonition of where the world is headed. Because like it was like, you know, these guys they the one with the star of Get Out. And he went in there and he biked and he biked and he biked and he finally won enough credits to enter a competition, you know what I mean? Later on in the movie anyway. And then you know, he did his thing. But like that's what we doing. We just making enough to earn like, and now we going into cryptocurrency as well. But it used to be the dollar, but now it's cryptocurrency, game money, phone money that you don't even touch. You don't even like all you see is credits and you just see numbers rising just like Clash of Clans, just like any game you've ever played. Candy Crush. All these coins just adding up. Boop, boop, boop. So many stars. Uno. You know what I mean? Like 8 ball pool. All these little apps and games that we've played. All these things. That's what this cryptocurrency is. Only it's like a big shared one. You know Facebook, right? Okay then. You think that would be so popular if we didn't all join it? If we didn't know anyone on Facebook, who would be on Facebook? How many of us are on WhatsApp? Very few, I'm sure, in the States. Like we may have it, not really use it, but internationally, that's a cheaper, more affordable rather way to communicate with others through the Wi-Fi than paying for the phone service because it's ridiculously expensive and you have to constantly renew it. You can't just get like a card and just be like, all right, you know, auto pay, prepaid, none of that. Not on the island, boy. Not yet. And you know, they got all the VAT taxes and stuff down there too. It's ridiculous. And up here, at least we don't get the only export food. It's very nice. Frozen, but less frozen. Processed but you know, we enjoy the taste. But our bellies don't really enjoy the after effect, and we know this. But once again, we choose to ignore it, and we stay living in ignorance. That's what ignorance is. When we ignore stuff, we know it. You know, we may know it. Like even if we haven't been told it, we know it from the inside. Us seeing what's within ourselves, not even seeing what's within, but seeing from within and just expanding from that central point. Thank you for sharing this time with me. This is awesome. All right. Well, I believe it's time to say goodnight for now. I have said a lot, and I intend to say more. This has been a beautiful time. You'll see the spider too. I said in the last video, the last upload, that, I'd show y'all the spider. I also said something else. I said I'd get here in daylight, which I didn't unfortunately do right now. But schedules don't work so well sometimes. We all have experienced this. Things don't always go to plan. There's been a saying, when man plans, God laughs, or something like that. If God is the collective, what I mean, all of us, all of our minds, and the let's say the super conscious, or the what would you call that? What is it called? The collective consciousness, perhaps. I believe. Yeah. So the unmanifested energy, everything that we see the things through, basically, within our narrow and limited perspective. All that is us, let's say. And then, yeah, like, all of us interact with each other constantly. You know, organisms within the organism, the larger organ organ organization. I don't know. Probably in an organization, because what is zation? Who knows? I don't even want to get into that right now. But let's ask that question. We're gonna begin with that in the next upload. What is an organization? Thank you for coming, y'all. It's been an honest pleasure and a privilege, and it's been great. Still is, baby. All right. See y'all next time.